Good morning. Please let me know if you can hear me in the comments below. I'm Vicki. I'm just getting my Zoom pulled up here. If y'all are new, hello. It's so good to see you. I am running just a few minutes behind. I apologize for that. If you did not catch me live yesterday, I had food poisoning. And so the beginning of my week did not start as planned. So I apologize for that. But I'm so glad to have you here this morning. Good morning, Teresa. So good to see y'all. Where is everybody from? What state are y'all in? I'm in South Carolina. And our weather has been up and down, up and down. It's supposed to be 70 today. Yesterday, it was complete rain and chilly. It's just been crazy. It does not feel like a normal December with the weather forecast here. But you're in Ohio. Is it cold? I wonder if it's cold in Ohio. So I was sick this weekend, but I'm back at it. I'm good to go. And I'm excited to be here this morning with you. I was preparing our content earlier this morning, and I'm really excited because I found some cool things I want to show you and walk through. So this is going to be an interactive training this morning. I appreciate you being here and showing up. I'm excited for you to be here. And we are going to get going. Cannot wait. So I'm going to be sharing my screen some. If you can't see my screen when I share it, please let me know. There's always can be technical issues. So we are going to get going. This morning, we're going to look at the 5 things that can cause bookkeeping businesses to fail and then how to prevent them. So I'm going to walk through, this is going to be interactive. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, I'm an accountant. I operate my very own virtual bookkeeping business as well. And I have a heart for all of you ladies who are in this industry, who have a desire to be in the industry if you're not here. And I want to teach you some things. I want to teach you some things so that you can begin making money. I want to teach you things that if you're already making money, you can multiply it, double it, triple it. So I'm hoping and praying that this morning you'll walk away with some golden nuggets that will help you put some things in place so your business can grow. That is my passion. That's my goal for today and for this 3-day live roadway to your virtual bookkeeping breakthrough boot camp that I have created for you all. If you didn't catch yesterday's live, it is here in the Facebook group. You can go and watch it at any time through the weekend. It'll be available. And you can watch it and see how I walk through 7 streams of different incomes for virtual bookkeepers, because we have to know what we're going for. We have to know what our options are before we can even get going. You have to know, you just have to have a plan. So I helped walk through those yesterday and challenged all of you to choose one that you're going to focus on to begin, because all of them are in the accounting industry and it doesn't matter which one you start with, but we need to start. And if you already are operating a business, this is these whole 3 days are going to help you identify things you may not like that you're doing, which is very powerful, so that you can begin to add more to your portfolios of what you do want to do. That is like a superpower, to be able to figure out what you don't like doing, stop doing it, and do more of what you love doing, because we're going to be paid the most for things that we're passionate about and things that we really enjoy doing. So we need to lean into our strengths and begin to identify what they are. And this is what this week is going to do for you. So I'm excited to get going. I worked in the corporate world. I remember vividly one Saturday morning, my head lead accountant came in and was like, Vicki, I need to talk to you about your hours. And I was like, okay. Well, I knew in the back of my mind, I had put 70 hours in for that work week. I was finishing out my Saturday morning to finish out those 70 hours. And he's like, I need you to know that you're not working enough hours during tax season. You need to add about 5 to 10 more hours, because there's a kicker. You need to have these hours all need to be active in an account hours, not that you have been here hours. And I was a little puzzled. And so I started asking some questions. And so come to find out, me preparing Excel spreadsheets to get going, to pull data in from clients' information, setting myself up, getting all of my checklists ready, pulling my files, all of that didn't count towards my 70 hours. And that was kind of my point of realizing that life was not going to work for me, that I didn't want someone telling me where I had to be for 80 hours a week during certain hours, certain months of the year. And so that's just a real life experience that I had. And I very quickly, at the end of that tax season, began to maneuver out of the big 5 firms and went into industrial accounting, worked there for a while until I had children. And that's where my story with opening my own virtual bookkeeping business began to be birthed. And I found in my heart a passion for small business owners. It was sparked and it hasn't stopped since. So I'm here to share some of my journey with you, share my story with you, because God is no respecter of persons. If he can do it for me, he can do it for you. So I hope that as I talk through these 5 things that can cause businesses to fail and what not to do, you will hear some of my story and it will resonate with you and it will put a spark in you too. And I'm just glad to have you here. So we're going to start moving forward with our 5 things, because we don't want to stay stuck. Sometimes we can really live in indecision, and we don't need to do that. We need to get going and move forward. So I am going to share my PDF of the 5 things. Let me know if you can see it. I am going to have to move it up and down a little bit. Sorry, the image isn't exactly how I want it to fit on the screen, but technical issues this morning. So this is what we've got. So top 5 reasons bookkeeping businesses fail and how to prevent them. So we're going to walk through these 5. I'm not going to go in order probably, so sorry, but I will touch all 5 of them. Okay. So let me know if you can see it. I'm going to switch back and make sure I have to toggle in between my thread of Facebook. So let me know that you can see the slides, that they are sharing okay. And we are going to start working through them. I'm so excited. I've got some really good things I want to share with you this morning. Let's see. Okay. The first one that I want to talk about is one that I feel like really helped me make a shift in my life, like overall with all kinds of things. And that is asking for help. And you might say, well, Vicki, what does that have to do with my bookkeeping business? It has a lot to do with it, because you are one person. You only have a certain number of hours in a day, and you have to be efficient if you want to grow your business. And asking for help is not always easy, but we can do it. And I want to tell you 2 places to go to first to do this. And then maybe a third option for you too is, if you don't enjoy doing it, just don't do it. I know I have some friends who really, really enjoy cleaning their houses, and it releases stress for them. They just enjoy doing it. Well, that's not me. I don't enjoy cleaning. So one of the first places that I began to ask for help was cleaning my house and doing laundry. And I have had someone coming into my home for years now, and it is the best money that I spend, some of the best money that I spend on a service every month. So she comes and cleans, does my laundry for me, and I don't have to worry about that when I finish my day working. I have to go do that while I'm trying to fix supper, do homework, maneuver kids between different places. It has worked wonderful for me. And one thing I want you to keep in mind when we work through this about where are some places you can ask for help is thinking about smart money. So if you can go make money working on a bookkeeping project, and if it would take you 4 hours to do the project and you're going to get paid, say $375. That's almost, it takes you 4 hours. That's almost $100 an hour that you would get paid for that bookkeeping quick cleanup job that you had to do. Then paying a cleaning lady $90 to come in and do 3 hours of cleaning work in your home makes sense, because while they're cleaning, you're able to work and you're able to make that $400 in your bookkeeping business. So that's just a quick example. Smart math. Think it through. If what you're going to pay somebody else to do will allow you to earn the money you need to earn in your business, then it is smart. You need to do that for sure. Another area is babysitting. I know when my kids were really small, they are more independent now, so they can kind of tend to themselves. I don't have to have babysitters, but babysitters are very valuable. And having a good one when they're little is really, really smart. It's a smart investment, because you can pay them $100 for a couple of days of work, $10 an hour. Here you are making, $60 to $100 an hour, focusing on book work and getting money into your business to pay for things. So smart math, think it through. The other piece that I think is really smart, and for me, it's a feeling. When I had this feeling of the workload that I had, I knew it was time to hire another bookkeeper, a 1099 contractor, to come in and help me. And so she works as a bookkeeper with an hourly wage. She comes in and helps me do a good bit of hands-on work, and I get to bless her family with the income check, with a paycheck, and she gets to gain knowledge from me about bookkeeping. She has a couple of clients on her side that she does for pricing packages, but she works for me on mine, and I pay her hourly. That's been very valuable. And some of you who are watching this are in that position where it's time for you to hire another bookkeeper to help you in your business. Now, it takes a load off of you with a few things. You have somebody else to kind of lean into. You have somebody else you can ask questions to day to day. It's really valuable. So you may be in that position. And if you are, I challenge you to spend some time writing your numbers out and figuring out if that's a smart move for you. So that's another place that, as we're growing our bookkeeping business, you can add another layer to your business by having a contractor that works with you, that helps with some of the paperwork that takes up a lot of your time that you need to be able to gain more clients, to bring more clients in, just to think. Breathing room. We all need breathing room. So definitely keep that in mind as well. Okay. So a lot of times as accountants, we can be a perfectionist. I really feel like accountants kind of are overthinkers or perfectionists. And as a perfectionist, if we don't have a plan, if things don't go as accordingly to that plan, we won't move forward and we find ourselves stuck. And that's what I want to help you overcome today, is not sitting there and staying stuck. So out of these 5 that I'm going through, I'm going to challenge you to choose one of them that you implement the opposite in and do something with your business today. So we don't want to stay stuck. We want to move forward, because I'm here to tell you that, yes, it is really a good thing for us to be able to make money and to operate a virtual bookkeeping business. But there's another layer to that. There are people on the other side of these businesses that you have the opportunity to impact, that you have the opportunity to have influence in their lives over. Every small business that I do books for, there is an owner of that business, and that owner has a family. So there's multiple people that I'm impacting every day when I interact with that business owner doing their book work. So I see this as a ministry for myself too. It gives me an outlet to be able to reach many lives in this world in a positive manner. So I just wanted to remind you of that yes, we're here to talk about bookkeeping this morning, but we're also, it's more than that. It is having impact in this world, being able to influence people. And when you begin to operate in that, in your giftings and your talents that you have been given, then wonderful things begin to happen. And I'm just here to give you the framework so that you can throw it all together and be able to step it out and see the reality in your very own life too. So, perfectionists, let's not stop there. Sometimes we have to let go of our plan to make space for things. And that's where I really want to encourage you with asking for help. We've got to make space to be able to focus on our business, because probably half of you work a 9 to 5, and then half of you are already operating a bookkeeping business and you have a few clients, but you're not at full capacity. And so you're kind of in that messy middle of building it out, and you need some more time to be able to think about your business, focus on it, and tell people you're in business, which leads me to the number one on this list about not talking about it all the time. Businesses will not grow if people don't know you're in business. You have to let people know that you're in business. I realize we live in a very social media world. And social media there's huge advantages to it. But I don't want you to forget the basics of selling your services. And that is having relationships with real life people that are right around you. We need to make sure that everybody in our life who know us, our circle, people our kids go to school with, people we go get our hair done from, our mechanics, that people know we're in business. We have to make sure we're living it, because when people realize you're in business, naturally they're going to ask you accounting questions. Oh, well, I have a friend that's looking for a bookkeeper. Do you have any open spots? Do not devalue this. It's easy for us to kind of stay in our little bubble as accountants. I know I am. I'm that strange, and I'll enjoy the socialization of people, but I'm an introvert too. I like my quiet time, my time by myself to be able to get things done. And we don't need to stay there. We have to talk. We have to let people know that we're in business. If you go to the bank this week, if you walk into the bank, make sure your bank teller knows that you're a bookkeeper. Maybe you're depositing for your husband's job, his check or something. But strike up a conversation with bank tellers and let them know, you know what, I am starting a new business, or I have a business in bookkeeping and I'm looking for some new clients. If you know anybody who needs a bookkeeper, please give them my name and number. Would you take my name and number? Here's my name and number. Would you mind sharing it with anybody who may need it? We need to make the ask. A lot of times it's very simple just to make that ask. And I really find that we forget that sometimes. And I do take a poll from all of my students who are in my programs that I have for virtual bookkeepers. I take polls periodically. And one of the things I always ask them is, how are you gaining your clients right now? How are those clients coming into your funnel? And inevitably, it is good recommendations, word of mouth from current clients that they have. They're recommending them to their friends, and people are talking about me. That's how I get clients. So remember that when you are building out your business, that letting people know that you're in business is very powerful. And it is one of the easiest ways for us to market our business. I hope that makes sense. And it may seem simple, but it's not. It may seem simple, and it is simple, but it's powerful. It may not seem like it'll make much difference, but it does make a lot of difference. I promise you. So make sure you're talking about it and letting people know that you're in business. We all have to have that first client. I had to have my very own first client. We don't always know all the steps of what's going to happen when we begin this journey, but you have to do your due diligence, which this is one of the things you're doing. You're here listening to me, an experienced accountant who is running her own business. You're gaining knowledge from me. You're learning how to do things. You're doing your due diligence now. And you have to do that. We all have our first, and you have to maneuver through that to get better at doing the bookkeeping task that we are going to be required to do. You don't have to know it all to start. And in fact, I don't want you to know it all to start, because if you think you have to know it all, you're going to get hung up on getting all of your certifications and doing all of this before you go get that first client. And then when you get that first client, you may realize you hate bookkeeping. I don't want you to do that. I want you to learn what you love doing. You need to get hands-on experience as you're working through investing in a course to learn how to do bookkeeping, doing the QuickBooks Online bookkeeping, which is free, by the way. And I will pull that up, the link here in just a few minutes for you. QuickBooks Online Accountant, it is free. You QuickBooks Online Accountant, you go in, you sign up, and you'll be able to do all of the QuickBooks Online trainings for free to become certified. And you're going to have your own set of books you need to keep up with for your business too. And you get that for free when you become a QuickBooks Pro Advisor online. Your set of books will be free and you don't have to pay for that software. So that's one way you can jump in and just get started. So we have to talk about it, okay? The third thing that I want to talk about, this kind of falls in with number one. This is the number two on this list, not treating it like a business. This is something else that is simple, but may not seem powerful. And so we may put off doing it for a while. But I want to share with you a huge monthly income shift that I saw personally in my business. By not doing this, not treating it like a business, I chose not to do that anymore. When I started, I was not treating it like a business. I was depositing checks into a secondary checking account my husband and I had with our personal accounts. It was a personal account. It wasn't a business account. I was depositing the checks into there and, oh, well, it's covering my kids' school tuition. The moment I made the decision, I need to go to the bank. I need to open my business account for Add It All Up. I need to get my business checks and I need to start depositing this money into here. 4 or 5 times my income. I went from $1,000 a month to $5,000 a month easily within like overnight, 30 days. It makes a difference when we treat our business like a business. You have to treat it like a business. And again, this is simple, but I think we don't give enough value to it. So even as accountants, I'm telling you, even as accountants, there are many accountants that don't do this right away. And I was one of them. I did not do it right away either. So we need to treat our business like a business. When you begin to treat your business like a business, it will begin to pay you like a business and you will begin to reap the benefits from it. I promise it. Part of this step of treating it like a business, going to the bank and getting your bank account, is naming your business. Again, perfectionists, don't get stuck here. Naming it can be very simple. Choose a name. It can be your name. It can be Vicki Watkins Bookkeeping Services. Don't spend too much time here. When you name it, don't make the name fancy. We don't need fancy. We just need simple. This is it. Think about people typing it in the search engine, things that they could spell well. Add It All Up seems to work really well for me because people can easily, if I add it all up, when I do my email, I'll say, just spell it out, add it all up. And they're able to type it out and get it right. So my plumber came, I had a sink messed up last week and they had to come replace a pipe, and he came in and he's like, hey, I can email you the invoice. I said, okay, add it all up, spell it out. I gave him the email address and he sent me my invoice and began to have a conversation with me about QuickBooks Online. Do you use QuickBooks Online for your accounting clients? I said, I sure do. Do you use it? He's like, I do. He's not one of my clients, but I just planned to see with him that, hey, I've got open spots coming up for the next year. If you are interested in my services, just let me know. Again, telling everyone you're in business, letting it flow into our conversations. It will, when you begin to consciously tell yourself, I need to make sure people know that I have a bookkeeping business, you'll find ways to incorporate that into your conversations with people. So naming it just does something for a business. It's like when we name our children or name our pets, you're giving life to it. You're naming it. You're saying this is going to be something. When you name a person, this is going to be somebody. This person, Harper, is going to develop into a young woman who is going to go on to do things. When you name a business, you're giving it life. Don't underestimate that power in doing that. So we need to name our businesses and get a bank account. I am going to hop over to Facebook, and I want to know if y'all have any questions so far. Are you having any questions about this? We are the next two things I'm going to talk about. I'm going to pull up some websites, and we're going to walk through some things. We're going to talk about services. We're going to talk about pricing. We are going to dive into this because I don't need any of us staying stuck. I need us to have a breakthrough in our bookkeeping business, and I need us to find some steps we can take today to activate ourselves so we can begin making some really good money in bookkeeping. So I've discussed about asking for help, about talking about our business, making sure people know we're in business, and about not treating it like a business. We need to make sure we treat it like a business and put some things in place so that we can go from 1,000 to 5,000 a month, or whatever monetary place you're at where you can double it. Okay. The fourth thing that some businesses will do that will cause them to fail is not being specific about what they offer. So, let's see. Number 3, not being clear on what we offer. So you're probably thinking, Vicki, what do you mean by that? Not being clear on what we offer. Well, yesterday we covered the 7 streams of income, which I will pull that back up real quick for you too. 7 streams of income are right here. So this is kind of our starting ground. This is what I'm talking about. We need to identify what our options are and then go after one. So these right here are some options that we have as bookkeepers of what we can do for services to get paid. I covered them in detail yesterday: month-end reconciling, payroll, sales tax, budgets, all that stuff. Okay. So what we're going to do now is I want you to brainstorm with me, and we are going to look at some websites. Some of these are of my students, so I wanted to highlight them. They're in my programs. So we're going to look at some of the services that some people offer, because I don't want you to get stuck here. I want you to be able to serve clients. Now, I want to clarify I've listed for you clearly 7 streams that are options for you, but you do not have to offer all of these. I kind of go against the grain with what some of the bookkeeping industry is trying to teach people is you need to offer all these services. When you're starting out, you don't have to do that. And in fact, like I said in the beginning, I want us to learn what we don't like doing so that we don't continue to add that to our portfolio packages. I want us to only do things that we're good at and that we enjoy doing. So that may mean you don't want to do taxes, and that's okay. You don't have to do taxes. These are options for us. And the goal is to get really good at one of these streams of income and then continue to add on top of it different streams of income so that you can, it's like a snowball, so you can continue to add revenue to your bookkeeping business to continue to increase your income. So we're going to look here. This is one business, and they have listed here some of the services they offer: QuickBooks company file, create custom chart of accounts. I go over that in detail in one of my programs. Reconcile all bank and credit card statements, set up managing customer invoicing and payments. This is an example of some services you can offer. What I am doing for you right now by pulling these up, we're creating a swipe file. You're probably thinking, Vicki, what is a swipe file? That's a weird word. Swipe file. We are literally, what we're doing this morning together is creating a mental swipe file. We are researching, we are looking, we are beginning to brainstorm about, okay, Vicki, I'm operating, I've got a bookkeeping business, but I want to grow, I want to break through. This is one way you can do it. You can begin to look at what other people are doing and get some ideas from them. Maybe I need to tweak things a little bit. Maybe I need to increase my pricing some, which we're going to talk about tomorrow. And I'm going to cover pricing some here in just a few minutes as well. But maybe I need to break through. And so going through these, this is our mental swipe file. We're swiping some ideas from other people. We're not copying them, but we're using them as creative ideas to be able to help us grow and learn and know what options are out there for us. We have options, ladies, and I want us to really hone in and begin to really, really flourish in the accounting industry because there are so many options for us. Here is another one of my students. This is an example of her website, and I love this because she does go into good detail. Cleanup and catch-up services. Again, when I talk about 7 streams of income, some of those 7 streams of income can cause you to have an influx of cash, and some of them will cause you to have regular monthly same amounts every month. Well, monthly virtual bookkeeping services allows us to have a steady flow of income. Catch-up work helps us have a big influx of cash. So again, identify right now, what do you need? Do you need a big influx of cash? Do you need to just be building out your monthly recurring income to really build up to replacing your 9-to-5 income? What are you seeking right now? And I want you to hone in on that and begin to search for those clients that you can do catch-up work for. If you need an influx of cash for Christmas or for the new year, for taxes or something that may be coming up, like property taxes, what do you need in your life right now? And begin to implement those services in your business. Quarterly services. This is another service that we can offer that I think we forget about sometimes. I even did there for a time in my business. I was just recently doing a boxing 101 coaching with one of my students. Boxing is a walkie-talkie. I'm just throwing out all kinds of weird words this morning. Swipe and boxer. Boxer is a walkie-talkie. And some of my students will upgrade where they'll have access to me and we can walk through for a month any questions they have. You literally can box me on Monday morning and I can box you back in a voice message in 10 minutes and talk back and forth about, okay, your pricing, you're struggling with that. Let's go through your pricing structure. How do you need to increase it? How do you need to focus in? Which is what I did last month with Caitlin. And in that boxing, I realized that we needed to define what consulting for an accountant is and what quarterly services is. Consulting is where you're available to answer questions for a business when they have a question about, Vicki, I need to pay this contractor for concrete work they did. It was $3,000. Do I need to 1099 them? People will pay you to have access to you to ask you those type of questions. Well, yes, you do need to 1099 them because it's over $600. So this is what you need to do. Get this form, fill it out, make sure, let's put it in your QuickBooks so we have all of this information. That's consulting. Quarterly services is helping someone either review their profit and loss every quarter to look at their income and their expenses and kind of see where there might be some holes in their business. That's one option for quarterly services. Another option is where they may have payroll and they may be filling out the 941 forms, making their payments to the IRS and state, but they just want you to come in and look at it each quarter to make sure the forms were filed accurately. That's also another quarterly service, and people will pay you monthly for those services. I hope this is helping y'all. This is like hands-on training. She's got corporate finance consulting. So consulting, there you go. I had just explained about consulting. Another one of my clients here, this is Dawn, I believe, Simply Blessed. She's also got listed out her monthly bookkeeping services, reading through, this is what they do, monthly QuickBooks setups. Setups is another way that we can serve clients. And QuickBooks catch up right here. Or you can go in and just do like 6 months worth of bookkeeping all at once because they haven't, found an accountant. That happens all the time, the shoebox mentality. And then trainings for QuickBooks. This is a really big opportunity too. Again, we are trying to learn how to prevent having our business fail. And so what I'm doing is I'm walking through ways that you can be clear on what you offer. And by getting clear on what you offer, you have to look at your options and you have to begin to investigate, okay, what does training for QuickBooks Online mean? What do you do? Well, it's similar to this. You'll have a Zoom video going, you'll pull QuickBooks up, you'll get in there, you'll start coding transactions, show them how to code the transactions, talk them through it. It's like a teacher. You teach them how to set up QuickBooks Online. Some people flourish in that. I think I have a gift of teaching. Dawn has a gift of teaching. She's able to go in and show people how to set QuickBooks up so that they can do it, and they will pay her a fee to get that training from her. It's a beautiful business model, and it is a great way to add that extra stream of income to our business. How are we looking, ladies? Do y'all have any questions? Let's see. Where is my Facebook thread? Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me stop this just for a second and see if I can get, there we are. Do y'all have any questions? I see Jeanette, she says she can see everything. Teresa, okay, Cindy, oh good, I'm glad you're enjoying this. I'm not done. I still want to cover pricing. I'm excited. So yep, this is a great way to become very clear on what we're going to offer. You will realize that as you become very clear on what you want to offer, you can charge well for your services. You build confidence in yourself. This is all part of the journey. This is all part of it. We need to learn how to identify what we want to do. And that's by looking at what other people are doing and really spending a little bit of time every month. It doesn't take much time. I mean, here you are, spend 30 minutes, spending just a little bit of time brainstorming, thinking through, what do I want to do? What are others doing? How can I make money at it? Which we're going to get into here. We're going to look at some pricing. I'm excited about this one too. And I don't want to forget, before I get into the pricing, I'm going to share the QuickBooks Online website that I told you I would share with you so that you know where to go. If you have not already done this, you can go here and get signed up. Let's see. Okay. So, sorry, hold on 1 minute. There we are. Okay. QuickBooks Accountant. You can see my screen, right? QuickBooks Accountant. Online. Sign up. Okay. QuickBooks Online. Sign up for free. Y'all let me know if you can see my screen. I want to make sure that you can. QuickBooks Online Accountant for free. What this does is you literally go here and you sign up for the accountant version of QuickBooks Online, sign up for free. And once you do this, you will have access to all the QuickBooks Online trainings. You need to go through them, pass them, yes. But right away, I'm pretty certain you get your set of books for yourself. And keep your firm and clients on deadlines, share documents. You know, there's all kinds of options in here with the QuickBooks Pro Advisor. getting set up for this. All of us need to do this if you have not already. Sign up for free. And you can go through the Pro Advisor program, the training, certifications, all of that. All of that is there. It's available for you to do. I'm not saying you have to get certified with QuickBooks Online, because you don't have to hold that certificate to do bookkeeping. But this is a tool for you to learn. If you really want to learn the software more and better and become more efficient in it, this is a free tool for you to utilize. Use it. Sign up for it today if you have not already. So, okay. Do y'all have any questions? I'm going to move into the pricing part of this because I'm excited. I want to spend at least 10 minutes on this. About our pricing. So I'm going to pull the website up here. I do want to make sure that you can see me. Okay. I'm sharing my screen now, so you should be able to see Pro Advisor. Find one. How do you find one? So literally what I did was I typed in find a Pro Advisor. This is a gold mine. This is another step. We're moving from the services swipe file to the pricing swipe file. If you are stuck on, well, Vicki, you know, you've given me ideas for different streams of income I can add, but what does that equate to? What kind of money can I make with this? Like, what does this equate to? This little exercise is going to show you that. Okay. So remember, I had the 5 things that some businesses do that cause us to fail. Real quick, let me recap that. And one of them is not offering multiple services. Okay. When we become complacent with what we're doing and don't find ways to grow or to increase our income, then we're going to become stagnant. And I don't want any of us to become stagnant. Life is too short. I want us to make really good money. I want us to enjoy what we're doing. I want us to have good boundaries around our time. Okay. So we can spend time working, but we can spend time with our family too, equally. Okay. So not offering multiple services will keep you stuck and will end up causing you not to flourish like you should. You may not fail completely, but you won't flourish. And we don't want that. We want to flourish. So we're going to look through, you're saying, Vicki, well, what does it even mean to offer? What kind of money does this mean? Okay. So we're going to look at this a little bit. Number one, you can do this yourself. Everything I'm doing, I'm showing you today, you can do this as well. And I actually encourage you to spend some time doing this because, again, we're creating swipe files mentally in our minds. You can actually take a physical Word document, Google Sheets, and pull some of these items that we're finding into a sheet so you can go back and review. I do that sometimes too. It's very powerful. So you go to find a QuickBooks Pro Advisor. It's going to pull up a whole array of accountants. And you can enter your city and your ZEP here, any city. You can do a big city in Columbia. I did Atlanta, Georgia. I went ahead and pulled some up here because I was looking for something specific to show y'all. So when I did Atlanta, Georgia, I found 78 accountants. So these are accountants like you. These are accountants who are growing their bookkeeping businesses. They have their profiles from the free QuickBooks Pro Advisor option that we have. They've got their profiles up to date and they are in business. They can send potential clients to these websites to here. They can share this. They can send it over. Okay. So these are Pro Advisors that are on the website for QuickBooks. What you do is, and you can do this with what I just did, showing you websites for services. I think I went through enough of those, but for instance, you click on their profile, you can go look at their services and see what they're offering. So here's this lady's services: accounting and bookkeeping, file cleanups, QuickBooks training. Here you go. This is another example of some services. And words that they're using to explain what they do. And when you look at 10 of these, you are going to begin to get clarity about what it means to do QuickBooks training. Okay, what does this mean? So do this. Y'all can do this yourself too. Now, what I was looking for was pricing. What you'll find when you begin to look through all these portfolios, not everybody lists their pricing, and that's okay. I teach my students that if you don't want to put your pricing on your website, you need to at least say that my bookkeeping services begin at this pricing package rate per month, so that that will help pre-qualify those who are contacting you. If they know they can't afford $225, then they don't need to be contacting you. Or if they know they can't afford $500 a month, then they know they don't need to be contacting you. So when you have it listed on your website, your minimum amount that you will charge, then it helps you filter out those who aren't going to be a good fit for your business. And that's important. We want to do that. So I ended up finding one. It took, let's see, it took going down a little ways as I looked through all of these, no pricing, no pricing. And I finally found one that does have a pricing on their website. And they are right here. Here they are. So this is ABC Financial Group. And they have their pricing listed. So I wanted to show you a very powerful thing here, so that y'all can begin to really dream about how can you make a good income of bookkeeping. You know, I sent an email out this morning about not striving for $158,000 a year. That's great if that is your goal, but that even $2,000 a month can change our families. It can change our family trees. You need to decide what your monetary goal is. And once you begin to decide what your monetary goal is, you can back into that. And you can back into your hours. How many hours is it going to take me to serve a $2,000 a month client? This is where it gets very powerful and fun, because you can begin to see the multiplication of how you can replace a basic income that you have as a bookkeeper with a 9-to-5 job, or maybe you're staying at home, you've been raising children like I did, you really want to just start building out your business to cover private school tuition or to cover medical expenses, you know. So this is it. These are some options for you. And what we're doing is we're doing swipe files for pricing. This company clearly lays out at $350 a month, this is what I do. At $650 a month, this is what I do. $1,000 a month, this is what I do. And then isn't it neat how they say most popular is the highest one? And as soon as I saw that, as much research as I do in marketing and looking at the bookkeeping industry, I wanted to point this out. This is powerful, because it's like and these three are all the same color. So it's a little bit of marketing you're going to get as a tidbit in here. And they've got the goal, it's a different color. It stood out to me as soon as I went to the page. And I thought, when I saw most popular, well, that means most of their clients are at this package. So that means, well, Vicki wants to be at that package. You know, it's almost like a competitive, well, if everybody's there, I want to be there too. And you kind of forget about the dollars. They don't have the dollars listed up here. You're thinking, oh, well, this is where everybody is. This is where I need to be. So that was neat. So $2,000 a month. And I wanted to read through to see what this is. Business tax return. Okay, so they're including a tax return in this, which is interesting too. And then they have a platinum for $4,000 a month, which is cool too. So you can begin to read through. And what you'll see is, as you begin to read through the details of this website, these are parts of the 7 streams of income that I have identified for you in the bookkeeping industry. They're adding these into the pricing packages. So this is, I love this, because this is where you can really dream. This is where you can go, okay, Vicki, I just want to start with monthly bookkeeping. All I feel like I can have capacity to do is monthly bookkeeping and reconciliation for people. Well, I encourage you to start there. You don't have to add all of these at one time. This is showing you where you can advance to. This is showing you that if you've been operating as a bookkeeper for 6 years and all you're offering is this right here, reconciliation, maybe some reports, maybe paying some bills for people, then and you're realizing you've been at the same level for 6 years, and maybe it's time to look into how can you add in some training for these people? How can you step it up some to add another stream of income, maybe sales tax, start offering sales tax for some people and increase my income. So when I found this, I was like, okay, I got to show y'all. So you can create your own swipe file. And what I like to do, and I'm really going to reevaluate my pricing structures to see if they're where they need to be, which I break down all of that in my program where my students are, is how to come up with monthly pricing packages. But when you begin to identify what you want to charge, I advise you to go to find an accountant, look at these profiles, again, clicking through them, looking at their websites are right here, and then looking, okay, do they have pricing on it? And you need to go through and find at least 3 to 5 is good. If you can find 3 to 5 that list their pricing on their website, then you can literally create a swipe file. That graph, to me, is really speaking accounting. Like with your websites, y'all, just try to remember that it's going to be business owners who really stress out about numbers. That seems stressful to me, having that graph there. Sorry. Try to make it user friendly for your businesses, because they're coming to you because they don't like doing bookkeeping. So we need to try and make it simple, so that people can really feel comfortable and not have to think about numbers so much, because they want you to do all that thinking for them. So sorry, just a tidbit about websites, make them flow simply. So if you can find 10 different websites, not 10, I'm sorry, 3 to 5 different websites that have their pricing actual published on their websites, what you'll literally do, where's my guy, my company that are there, here we are. What you literally do, you will highlight all of this, literally highlight it all, and I copy it, and then I'll paste it into a Word document. And I will do that with each company, and begin to create a swipe file so that I can go, and what you do then is you begin to look for patterns. You begin to say, okay, this company, here's my Word doc. So I've got this company here. Okay, we've got the pricing packages, we've got the words they're using. When you do that 3 to 5 times for different companies, you'll be able to compare in the $1,000 range. This company's only charging $350 for what they're charging $1,000 for. Do I want to do this for $350 a month, or would I want to do it for $1,000 a month? Then you can begin to really shape your pricing structures by doing this. Pricing swipe files are powerful. Y'all, this is worth gold. This is huge. And I hope you all can do this. So I encourage you, we're coming up on the hour. I encourage you to take some time, do some swipe files, and find out where you're at. Find out if you currently have a bookkeeping business, are your prices in line where they need to be, or do I need to increase them some? Or if I want to build a bookkeeping business, this will help you see the potential. When you do a swipe file pricing structure, you can see the potential. You can begin to see patterns of what people are charging $350 a month for to do. Can I do that? Can I learn how to do that? Can I do my due diligence and dig into the QuickBooks software and figure out how to do all this? Yes, you can. I'm here to tell you, you can. This is how I started out. Nobody taught me how to do small business bookkeeping. Vicki taught herself how to do this. Nobody showed me how to do sales tax. I had to learn it for myself. So you can learn these things, and you can invest in trainings like what I have in my programs. You can invest in groups like this, doing boot camps where you're learning these tidbits. This is all part of the due diligence of you building out your business. And I'm so excited that I got to spend this last hour with you. This has been a huge blessing to me. I hope it was a blessing to you. I'm seeing some positive comments. Thank you for showing up today. take this information, take just one golden nugget out of it and implement it today. Out of those 5 things that I went through about what businesses do that will fail and how to prevent it, choose one of them that you can flip today and do it differently. If it's just telling people you're in business, if it's realizing, okay, I need to hire a cleaning lady to come in and help me clean my house. If you're realizing I really need to hone in on what I even want to offer, choose one of these 5 and implement it today. You're going to thank me. I know it's going to change your life. It's going to change your bookkeeping business. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. I hope this was encouraging to you. Tomorrow, come back. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., I'm going to dive into 5 ways to have a virtual bookkeeping breakthrough. Yes, it's 5 ways to have a virtual bookkeeping breakthrough. We're going to cover things like pricing. I was looking for my notes for tomorrow. I don't have them in front of me. It's going to be ways to make money, pricing, things that you need to do to be able to shift so that you can make money in your bookkeeping business and really feel good about it and have a framework that works for you and your talents and the places where you're really gifted at. So that is all I have for today. I hope y'all have a great day. Again, come back tomorrow, 10 a.m. and we will do another training. I can't wait to share it with you. I hope you all have a great day, and I will talk to you all very soon.